Have you ever really thought about what happens after the first shot is fired? We hear a lot about potential conflicts, right? But we rarely dig into the messy chain reaction that comes next. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're breaking down the Pentagon's own declassified war games to see the cascading consequences of a US-Iran conflict, step by devastating step. So let's just cut right to it. The big question. You get past all the headlines, all the political talk. What would a war with Iran actually look like on the ground, in the air, and everywhere else, especially according to the military's own planners? And look, this isn't just guesswork or speculation. The answers come from incredibly detailed, declassified war games run by US Central Command. These simulations map out this devastating chain of events that ripples out way beyond the initial battlefield. It all kicks off here with the initial US strike plan, and the whole strategy is really built around three key ideas: precision, speed, and just overwhelming force. The goal is to neutralize Iran's biggest threats before they can even fully react. Okay, so let's break down these opening 72 hours, because this is where it gets wild. It's like a perfectly choreographed symphony of destruction. First, you've got B-20 stealth bombers flying all the way from Missouri to take out the toughest, most heavily defended targets. Then, the F-35s and electronic warfare jets come in to basically wipe Iran's air defense systems off the map. And that opens the floodgates for a massive barrage of thousands of Tomahawk cruise missiles, hitting up to 600 different targets. And this isn't some one-and-done thing. No, this is a sustained air campaign that's planned to last for weeks. And to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, get this. The estimated cost for just the Tomahawk missiles used in the first week is a staggering $4.2 billion. That's just the price of the munitions. We're not even talking about the cost of fuel, personnel, or moving entire aircraft carriers into position. But of course, Iran doesn't just sit there and take this punch. No way. The war games show they would immediately hit back with a multi-front counterattack. This is that second, much bigger ripple, and it's designed to be chaotic, unpredictable, and painful. And they do it using their core strategy, asymmetric warfare. You see, they know they can't match the US plane for plane or ship for ship, so they don't even try. Instead, they use unconventional stuff, swarms of small fast boats, massive cyber attacks, and their network of proxy fighters to turn America's technological strength into a potential vulnerability. So, the first part of their retaliation is direct. Iran has one of the biggest ballistic missile arsenals in the Middle East, and they would unleash it immediately. They'd aim for major U.S. hubs like Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, which is home to 10,000 American personnel, and Camp Arifjan in Kuwait. And yeah, we have Patriot missile defenses, but they're not a perfect shield. The Pentagon fully anticipates significant damage and, yes, casualties. And that brings us to the human cost, which is immediate and it's harsh. War planners estimate that in just the first week of this conflict, over 300 U.S. service members could be killed, with hundreds, maybe even thousands more wounded. But the fight doesn't stop there. It spreads everywhere. At sea, Iran would send out over 100 of those fast attack boats to swarm and harass massive U.S. warships. They'd also start deploying naval mines to try and shut down the critical Strait of Hormuz. And at the exact same time, in cyberspace, huge cyber attacks would be launched against U.S. banks, the power grid, you name it, bringing the war home in a very real, very disruptive way. And then, there's the third front, the proxy network. All of a sudden, this is not just a US-Iran fight anymore. Hezbollah in Lebanon unleashes its arsenal of thousands of rockets on Israel. Militias in Iraq start attacking the US embassy and American troops stationed there. And Houthi forces in Yemen launch strikes on critical oil facilities in Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Just like that, the conflict explodes into a full-blown regional war. And that regional war, well, it triggers the third major ripple, a global economic meltdown. And this is the part where the shockwave starts hitting absolutely everyone, no matter where on Earth you live. This is where it hits your wallet. The reason why is actually pretty simple. It all comes down to this one waterway, the Strait of Hormuz. Just look at this. 21%. That's over a fifth of the entire world's daily oil supply passes through this single narrow choke point. The very same choke point that Iran is now trying to shut down. The effect on the global economy would be immediate and, frankly, brutal. Crude oil prices, the lifeblood of pretty much everything, are projected to almost double in a matter of days, jumping from around $72 a barrel to over $130. So what does that actually mean for you? It means pain at the pump. Big time. The average national price for a gallon of gas could skyrocket to $6.50. That is a massive, massive hit to every family's budget.
And it's not just about gas prices. The financial shock would hammer the stock market, which is projected to plunge by about 15%. We're talking about trillions of dollars in retirement savings, and your 401k just gone. This is the conflict reaching directly into your financial future.
Okay, but there's a fourth ripple. And honestly, this might be the most dangerous one of all. Because while America is completely bogged down in the Middle East, its great power rivals, China and Russia, see a golden opportunity. This is the global chess match.
For Pentagon planners, this right here is the absolute nightmare scenario. It's not some formal alliance, but an opportunistic alignment. China could decide now is the time to ramp up military pressure on Taiwan, testing a distracted America. Russia could escalate its war in Ukraine. Both could start sharing satellite intelligence with Iran, launch their own cyber attacks against the US, and China could even cut off exports of rare earth minerals that are absolutely essential for American defense manufacturing. Suddenly, the United States is facing a three-front global crisis.
So, when you add all of this up, you start with a missile strike and you end up here. It all leads to the one big, ultimate strategic question that sits at the very heart of these war games. After you account for all of these cascading consequences, was it even worth it? Let's just lay it all out. A final strategic balance sheet. On one side of the ledger, you've got your potential tactical gains. Maybe you delay Iran's nuclear program and you degrade their military. Okay, but on the other side, the strategic costs are just overwhelming. A global economic recession, a full-scale regional war fought through proxies, hundreds of American casualties, a multi-front crisis with Russia and China, and trillions of dollars in long-term economic damage. And that leaves us with the final, pretty sobering question that these war games force us all to confront. Even if you can guarantee you'll win the initial battle against Iran, is winning that single battle worth the absolutely devastating price of the much, much wider war that follows? The Pentagon's own analysis seems to suggest it might not be.